You're on.
Okay.
Although we are going to have to take a moment to adjust the camera.
All right. Why don't you go ahead and do that?
Yeah, chat, we'll be right back. Hold on a second.
Okay. Let's see how we're doing.
Okay, we're back. Way more of you in the frame, including the stove.
Perfect. Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to my channel, The Perfect Recipe by Amethyst. Before we get started here, I plan to make chicken cacciatore and Portuguese bean soup. These are dishes for cold, rainy days, foggy, gloomy days, when you don't feel like doing a whole lot of cooking. Just put something on the stove and with a few ingredients, and it'll be done by the time you're ready to eat it. Before we get started, though, I wanted to take a few minutes to, well, first of all, to apologize for my broadcast on Wednesday. It was not the best. It was disjointed, chaotic. I was in a snappy, snarky mood, and it showed. And I wanted to, so I apologize for that. Going forward, we will be doing much better. Now, growing up, I had the great good fortune to have a very supportive, very loving family who, part of that loving is being honest with each other. So I had coffee with my sisters yesterday, and they offered suggestions on how to do better with this, because they've known me all my life, all their lives, and they could see that I was not I was not in the best of moods yesterday. So they gave me some wonderful suggestions, which I have taken into account. Yes, my sister, was in the food service industry for quite a while, manager of some restaurants, suggested that when I put my cutting board down, put a damp cloth underneath the cutting board so that your cutting board doesn't slide while you're chopping. Brilliant. I'm going to turn this down here just a second so I don't hear myself talk. And she told me about the gloves, that mesh glove. It's good, but it's hard to handle food with it. It'll protect your fingers, but it's hard to handle food. As long as you keep your, go chop with your knuckles, going along the line of your knuckles, you'll be fine. You won't cut your fingers off. So that was a good suggestion too. They suggested that I have more focus. And every suggestion they gave me, I 100% agree with. When I am in the kitchen with this stream, I am small kitchen cooking for beginners. The cooks that I mentioned in my previous, chefs I mentioned in my previous broadcast, they're awesome, fabulous people, and I apologize to them in absentia for dissing them, which I did. I really did. They have their way of doing things. I have my way, and whatever way works. But this is small kitchen cooking for beginners. When I'm not in the kitchen, I'm going to be showing you some crafts or other things. Then I will be the perfect recipe, and then the follow-up with whatever name that is. So I love my sisters. Everything that they tell me, and this is why I'm so fortunate, is out of love and concern. Yes, they're critical sometimes. They've hurt my feelings, but it was all done out of love and concern for me, being that the family that we are. My parents always wanted a tight-knit family, and that's what they got. They are no longer with us. They've passed many years ago. But no matter how far away we are, how many miles there is between us, we are all family, and we act like it. We are in contact with each other. We support each other, even if that support means get the lipstick off your teeth and get it together. That was the message yesterday. Get it together, because they want me to succeed. I want to succeed. So that's what we're doing right now. So now that I'm off the soapbox here, I just want to give credit to my family. There are the credits, rolling credits at the end of the broadcast. But what I'd like to do is make some chicken cacciatore, and I have my recipes here. These will be posted on Time Tracker's
It'll be posted on my Discord.
on his Discord. So anyway, so let's get started with the chicken. The
Squid
recipe
says hi.
I'm sorry?
Squid says hi.
Oh, Squid. Hi, Squid. Good to see you. So sorry about that.
She's got her chat in front of her so she can read
Yeah.
it, but sometimes she misses it.
Yeah. Okay, so the calls for chicken, I use chicken thighs instead of chicken breasts or any other part of the chicken because I know how to cook them, and chicken breasts tend to be dry. Although this is going to be in a stew, it's a richer flavor with the thighs. So you're going to take 4 or 5 chicken thighs, depending on the size, and you're going to put them in a Ziploc bag with flour, a half cup of flour. So that I already have the half cup of flour here. I actually poured some salt and pepper on the chicken thighs directly. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put them here.
Let me adjust the camera slightly here.
Okay.
I gotta move the chair so I can.
I just told my director, producer, to shut up. So this is what you're going to do. You're just going to put the thighs in here, or your chicken meat, whichever cut you like. I like the chicken thighs. And you're just going to gently roll it around in the flour until it's coated. All you really need is just half a cup.
Oh, we disconnected.
Okay.
Yeah, we disconnected and then reconnected.
Okay.
Sorry for the glitch. I wrote it out as your name.
Yeah. Sorry for the glitch.
Take this time to actually do a BRB so that way I can actually adjust the camera. Because I was going to try to adjust it from
I
here,
don't know how to do it.
and I can't do it.
What do you want me to do?
No, I'm going to do it.
It would be faster if you used a mouse.
Let me see if we're back on here.
I'm not seeing anything.
Okay, it says you're live here.
Okay.
But you're not on YouTube.
Okay. Can they hear me?
Yeah, they can hear you. I just have to readjust with YouTube. So it's going to be a
Okay.
little bit late on the YouTube side.
Okay, well that's okay because I'm not seeing myself on Twitch.
No, hand me your phone real quick.
Sorry, we're having technical issues again. We have a bad Wi-Fi. So we're working on getting that fixed.
We're also getting a new setup for tomorrow as well. I did not. Okay.
Okay. Looks like we're back. Sorry everybody. We have a bad Wi-Fi and it's glitching on us, so we've already reset it before this broadcast and don't know what's going on, but we have to upgrade, which we will be doing soon. So just take your chicken thighs and gently roll them in this flour. Put on the heat for your oil, let it get hot. And then what we're going to do is we're going to brown the chicken in this oil. The reason why it looks like this because I browned some chicken before just about an hour ago. So just go ahead and put it in. And we're only going to be browning the chicken. We're not going to cook it through because when we put it in the stew, that's going to what's going to cook the chicken. So we just want to get a nice color on this. Now this extra flour right here, throw this out. It has raw chicken in it. You're not going to be able to use it, so we'll go ahead and throw it out. I'm going to set it over there for the time being. Now while the chicken is browning, let's go ahead and get the rest of our ingredients. It calls for 1 green bell pepper, which I have right here. So I'm going to take my knife and just cut into this. Again, having this wonderful damp cloth beneath so that this doesn't slide around. Excellent advice. I'm annoyed with myself that I didn't think of that, but she did because she's a pro. So just go ahead and cut. These do not have to be finely chopped. You can get a rough chop with these, with the vegetables that we're going to put in there. And it's okay if the bell peppers one tries to get away. Just get it back and chop it up. You know, one of the things I love about my family is that they are really, really important in that they tell me what I need to hear. Not what I want to hear sometimes, because you know that can be rather harsh to me, but it's all done out of love. So that's what I want. So Jamie saw me cutting these. Oh my God, I said her name. I'm so sorry. So my sister sees me cutting this incorrectly. I'm sorry.
Well, there is one benefit to you not being affiliate right now.
Yeah?
These only last for 7 days.
Okay.
So after that, I'm sorry, she doesn't want me to talk that much.
Okay, so we're going to put this in a bowl because the pan is not quite ready for, you know, the stew to start. Okay, so we'll put that there. So the recipe calls for 2 medium onions. I have 1 here, and that's going to be fine. That's all we need. So I'm going to check the chicken here. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Just turn it over, get all that flour flavor off of it. Now what this flour is going to do that's on the chicken, it's going to help thicken your sauce. So that'll make it a nice stew. So we're going to leave that alone for a couple minutes. And then we're going to put that over here, get it out of the way. The chopped onion and bell pepper, just put in the pan right here.
That is the thing.
Okay. And then the recipe calls for 1 can, 14.5-ounce diced tomatoes. I have that right here. We'll put that in. And then an 8-ounce can of tomato sauce, which I have. Actually, I have a 24-ounce can. 28-ounce can. So I don't need all this, but I'll just put in half. The other half of this will go into our Portuguese bean soup. So we'll just put some of that in there. Half a pan. Let's get that aside.
I'm thinking I should angle the camera more towards both of them.
And then, okay, right. Then we're going to put in the sliced mushrooms. Not right now. It calls for 1 cup of sliced mushrooms. I have a package of sliced mushrooms here. Let's toss that in. Then it asks for half teaspoon of oregano, 1 teaspoon of basil, half teaspoon of salt, and 2 cloves of garlic. All of that equals Italian seasoning. So you can get the oregano basil separately, or you can use Italian seasoning, which is what I did. So I'm just going to use Italian seasoning. And I would say maybe about a teaspoon, teaspoon and a half of the Italian seasoning. I grew up cooking, I never measured. So it's just, I do it by eye, but if you need to measure, I would say a teaspoon and a half or 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning. So put that in there. Okay. Now it looks like the chicken is ready to go into the stew, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to switch places here.
The chicken looks amazing, by the way.
Thank you. I wish I could recover my mother's recipe for fried chicken. I don't have that. And I have tried many times. It's just, the answer is I can't get it the way she did. So, a big disappointment to me. Okay, so set that aside. And we will try to mix this up. And just kind of get things evened out a little bit. We'll put this on the flame here, about, medium flame. And so there is, normally you would think to have water in this to help so that nothing burns, but nothing's going to burn because there's enough moisture in the mushrooms and the tomato sauce. You don't really have to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to just go ahead and let this cook. You cook this for 30 to 40 minutes. And there's that. Okay, now we're going to put this over here and go there. Now, that's it for the chicken stew, the chicken cacciatore. If you want to, you can add anything that you want in it. You can add olives. Olives would go very well with that. If you don't want to have bell peppers in there, leave the bell peppers out. That's totally fine. That works. So in 40 minutes, we're going to have a nice stew. Now for the Portuguese bean soup, you're going to think this is great because it, excuse me, let me take a sip of water. Is just throw everything into a pot, let it boil. It's done. So what it's asking for is 2 medium onions chopped. Since we're making a small batch, we don't need two onions, so I'll just use this 1 onion. And this happens sometimes. You forget to slice the onion in half. It's just easier peeling if you're slicing it in half. But I forgot to do that because I'm so used to doing the whole onion.
You might want to move the cutting board more towards the stove, so that way we can see it cut.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Is that looking better? Yeah.
Yeah, that is looking
much better. Okay. So just take your scraps, put them in the sink for the time being, or get them out of your way. And again, this does not have to be, oh, here's our pot for the soup. Now again, this does not have to be finely chopped. It could be pretty coarse. And I will count on my sister to tell me if I'm doing this properly.
I gotta honestly say, I love how that knife just cut through it like a hot knife through butter.
Oops.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Shouldn't you also be wearing the chainmail glove?
No, I mentioned before that the chainmail glove, it makes it hard to grasp the food.
Okay. I'm just saying for safety reasons.
No, I'm fine. Do I
Okay.
look like I cut myself?
Just ask.
See, these are the loving people that I have surrounding me. They're always looking out for my safety, and I really appreciate that. I really do. But I'm okay. Then it asks for 2 medium carrots diced. Now I have 2 carrots here. Now you can just cut off the bottoms and the top, and we'll throw that into the pile. Now you can peel the carrots if you want to, or just leave them as is. I like rustic, so I'm going to leave them alone. I'm not going to cut them. I'm not going to peel them, but you can if you want to. So I'm going to set one aside. Now this is pretty long. What we're going to want to do is we're not going to want to do this all the way down. So cut this into manageable pieces. The larger end right there, and then the 2 middle and the baby end. Now, to cut the carrot, you don't want to do this with the carrot. That doesn't work. But we want to get this in a dice. So take your hand, put it over your knife, put your knife here, put your hand over the knife so you can hold the carrot steady, and then slice. And then turn it over and slice it again. But you have your hand over the knife, so that you're not in danger of cutting yourself with these, because carrots are very hard to cut through. So I'm just going to go ahead and again, this is rustic. You don't have to have perfectly diced vegetables. Now this small part of the carrot is just fine. We don't have to quarter it. We just cut it in half and chop. Do the same thing with this. Now the next item are 2 medium potatoes. So I have 2 medium potatoes here. I've already washed them. Again, you can peel these too if you want. You don't have to, but I don't peel potatoes, so I'm just going to leave it as is. Now, because they roll around a lot, you're going to want to be careful with this. So what I do is I take the potato, I cut off a side like that. Push that aside. We're still going to use that, but then you have a solid surface for your potato if you cut on that flat side. So diced potato. So it doesn't have to be a fine dice. It could just be a rustic dice. Anything that works. Because this is all going to get cooked together and it's all going to be delicious. Now you can add more potatoes, less potatoes, more carrots, whatever you want to put in there. I like potatoes, a lot of potatoes, but the recipe that I'm showing you calls for 2 medium potatoes. Now this recipe I got many years ago when I was vacationing in Hawaii, and this came from a woman who lives in Hawaii for years, and she just showed me how to make it one Thanksgiving when we were visiting there. So it was absolutely wonderful, and I've kept the recipe all these years. And I'm talking like around good 40 years. Okay. So we have the potatoes, carrots, and onions in the pot. We're not turning anything on yet. The next ingredient are 12-ounce Portuguese sausage sliced. Now, I don't like Portuguese sausage. It's too spicy for me. So I go ahead and I get the kielbasa. And instead of buying a package of kielbasa where I cut myself, this came already pre-cut. So I'm going to go ahead and use this. You can do that too. But the name Portuguese came from the sausage. That's why it's called Portuguese bean soup, because of sausage. So we'll go ahead and we'll take all this and just put it in. And don't worry, it's going to clump up. If you want to get your hands in there, your fingers, and declump it, go ahead. But we're going to put some liquid in here. It's going to take care of all of that for you. Okay, so now we're going to need 2 8-ounce cans of tomato sauce. That's what this is. This is the rest of the tomato sauce. So I'm going to put this in here. Okay, and then it asks for 1 quart of water. So take my handy dandy measuring cup here and go for 1 quart.
Question in the meantime.
Yeah.
Do pieces of carrots that you've just cut light up on fire?
Let me guess. I'm squid ass that one.
No, actually, that's me because it's like, okay,
No.
I spotted a piece of carrot that fell underneath the pot next to the flame, so I was kind of wondering.
No.
Okay.
No. The stove is clean.
But I had to ask that because it's like, okay, I'm worried about that.
Nothing to worry about. There are so many things that have gotten onto these heating plates, these stove plates, that, yeah, I have to scrub them all the time because I cook a lot. So we're going to put this on high heat and let it boil. Let it come to a boil. In the meantime, I'm going to, clean up here a little. My father always told us a good cook always cleans his utensils, always cleans his pans, and always cleans up after himself. That was the message. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take a few minutes here and just clean my knife. I'm going to be very, very careful again. And it goes back in here because we won't need this anymore. The knives, we're finished with the knives. Put that away. The potato can go over here for right now. I'm going to put the chicken cacciatore back on. The chicken cacciatore goes on for a few minutes till it boils, and then turn it down low and let it stew for a good 30 to 40 minutes. You test, depending on when the thighs, how big your thighs are, and how long it takes them to cook through. Always cook your meat thoroughly, except for beef. That there's some sort of formula to that I don't know. With rare, medium rare, I don't know. But with pork and chicken, it should be cooked all the way through. Okay, put this away, and excuse me. And one of the streams that I'd like to go over with you one day is what I keep in my pantry and refrigerator, some staples that I keep available so that if I get hungry or if I don't feel like going down to the store or anything like that, I can look in my pantry and see, put some things together and get soup like this. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and let that season, and then put the top on it. Take this out of the way. This is going to go in the sink. I've already shown you what to do with grease, so I'm going to put this aside and take care of this later. I'll let you guys already seen what I do with it, so it's just going to stay to the side. It's going to be fine. I'll wipe up my counter here. Okay, so we're getting there. Yeah, so we're doing good. So it's starting to come up to a boil. And you cook it, boil it for 20 minutes. And then you're going to want to add a package of chopped spinach or 2 15-ounce cans of kidney beans. I have the kidney beans here already, and it's 28 ounces, so we're just below 30. We're just below 2 cans. So we're just below that, but this is going to be fine. You can add kidney beans if as much or as little as you want. You can add any kind of beans to it. You can add black beans, pinto beans, garbanzo beans. Garbanzo, not so much now that I think about it, but still, you can add whatever. These are recipes that you can just customize for yourself. So I'm going to take the cutting board away and put it over here ready to go. This is the damp towel, the godsend, and I'm annoyed at myself that I did not think of this myself. This is a damp towel. That cutting board did not go anywhere. It was slipping and sliding on Wednesday. Did not go anywhere with this. So thank you, sister. Okay. So I'm going to put this aside right here. There's all kinds of stuff on the side there you don't need to see. Okay, we're going to say that we're just going to go ahead and say, yeah, this has been cooking for 20 seconds. It really doesn't matter. It's all going to cook together anyway. So we're going to put in our kidney beans. And we're going to turn this down a little. Now I'm going to pull out my frozen spinach. I didn't pull it out before we started the stream, but I'm going to have to do a little bit of digging, I think, so I'll be right back. I lied. It was right on top. Now you don't have to use spinach. You can use any kind of vegetable, frozen vegetable that you like. If you use fresh vegetables, put them in at the last minute because they really don't need as long to cook as the frozen vegetables do. But I just find frozen is a lot easier. It keeps longer. Now go ahead and get messy. You have to just pull it apart and get it out of there. Okay, mess. We'll clean it up. Now you take this whole brick right here, put it in there. Done. So we'll let this cook. We'll let that cook. We'll throw all this out. I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of cleanup. Then I have a surprise for you guys. And this is another suggestion from my sisters that I didn't think about. And I don't know why I didn't think about it, because they're very, I'm smart too. We're all smart people. It's just sometimes you get so used to doing this, you don't really think about, the everyday stuff. So what I have here, pull out my trusty pot holders. I'm going to pull out the finished product for you guys. Okay. This is what your stew is going to look like. Not your stew, but your Portuguese bean soup. This is what your chicken cacciatore is going to look like.
We actually can't see that.
I'm going to take care of that right now. Okay, this is the Portuguese bean soup. Okay. There's all of that. Now, in this soup, instead of spinach, I use broccoli and cauliflower. But it has everything else in there. So what you're going to do is you're going to okay, this is what your soup is going to look like. Okay, I'm going to get this out of the way.
OBS glitched again.
Oh, I'm off.
It disconnected then reconnected.
All right.
I am getting irritated now.
We need to find something better.
Well, it's this. It's the OBS.
Oh, fix. Okay.
So you're still streaming again, but it's.
All right. Let's get me back.
Yeah, you are back.
Okay.
Just I have to redo it on your phone. That's all.
Okay. Can Twitch see me?
Yeah, Twitch can see you.
Okay. Great.
Oh, I by the way, you're now up to 6 followers.
Oh, excellent. Thank you.
Kitty followed you.
Oh, thank you, Kitty. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. Now, this is a chicken cacciatore. This is what, it's going to come out looking like. I put it in the oven so that, because I made it before, and I wanted to show you what the finished product looked like. One of the suggestions my sisters gave me was make some in advance and then, show the finished product at the end when you're finished with your cooking. I thought, brilliant. So I'm annoyed that I didn't think of that. So here, I'm going to take a piece of chicken, and you can put this on a plate or in a bowl. I use a bowl because bowls are lovely creatures that just scoop up everything. They just take up everything. So a serving would be 2 chicken thighs. Go ahead and put it in there. And these are bone-in chicken thighs. You can get the boneless if you like. That's up to you.
It's
And
right.
since
That
this
looks so good.
Oh, thank you. And then since both of these dishes are tomato based, I'm going to go ahead and use the spoon that I used for the Portuguese bean soup. I'm going to go ahead and use it to get some of this delicious green bell peppers, onions, and mushrooms. Okay, there. This is what this is the chicken cacciatore. This is the Portuguese bean soup, and they're very hearty stews and soups, and they will keep you warm. And I don't know how many calories are in this. I don't, how fattening it is, but it's good stuff. And sometimes you don't care if you want the, fat or calories or anything like that. So anyway, that is the end of the stream for today. Again, the recipes will be posted in the Time Trackers Discord. And if you have any questions or anything, let me know. Feel free to like and subscribe. It helps the algorithm. There's some sort of algorithm with Facebook.
Well, with YouTube.
With YouTube, sorry, with YouTube. So it just really helps the algorithm. And again, if you want to add olives to your chicken cacciatore, that's what I have here. I didn't do that this time because I forgot. So anyway, thank you again so much for joining me. We're thinking of changing up the frequency of the broadcasts. I was looking at maybe Wednesdays and Fridays instead of Monday to Wednesday, Friday. So Wednesdays and Fridays, because Fridays, everybody by the end of the week is fried. They just want to sit down and relax and maybe find an easy recipe where they can have their Friday night dinner. It takes 20 minutes to cook. Maybe that's what we need to do. So right now, it's looking like we'll be back next Wednesday.
Okay.
We'll let you know if it's going to be, on Monday. We'll let you know sooner, but I think maybe Wednesday.
Yeah, just for those of you that are on my Discord, just keep an eye out. Put it in the announcements.
Yeah.
What time, though, is the question?
It's going to be, well, that depends on what, well, actually, let's ask our viewers. What time do you think I should, I can go on if you'd like me to go on? I'm on Pacific time, and we start this around 3 o'clock Pacific time. So if you think it should be later, it should be earlier, let me know, and I will make my adjustments. So it's entirely up to our viewers, my viewers.
Yes.
Okay. So anyway, again, thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful evening, afternoon, night, weekend. Thank you again. Bye.